Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're all well. So today we are going to discuss the 24th problem in the TLE Eliminator CP sheet, 800 rated problems. The problem name is We Need the Zero. So let's start. Let's start by reading the problem statement first. There is an array A consisting of non-negative integers. You can choose an integer x and denote b of I equals a of I XOR with x for all the elements where XOR denotes a bitwise XOR operation. Is it possible to choose a number x such that the value of the expression equals 0? This expression is the bitwise XOR of all the elements of bi. This is the new element after we XOR the given array with the value of x. It can be shown that if a valid x exists, then there is also an x such that x is less than 2 to the power of 8 and it's greater than or equal to 0. So we need to print x. Let's first discuss the properties of XOR. This is A, B, and this is A XOR B. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So XOR gives 0 for when the inputs are same and 1 if the inputs are different. So this is the XOR. Now we'll be given an array A. We need to XOR this with an element x such that the overall XOR of this new array is 0. So let's first see what is the final array. The final array would be A of I XOR x XOR with A of I plus 1. Let's say it's 0. A of 0, A of 1 XOR x XOR with A of 2 XOR x XOR A of 3 XOR x, and so on. Now one thing that we can note here is that if the number of elements in the array is even, that means this XOR x would be occurring an even number of times. Let's say that n is even or n is odd. If n is even, then we'll get an even number of XOR x. An even number of XOR x means x XOR x XOR x and XOR x. Let's suppose the n was 4. So these XORs will cancel each other. So there's no effect on the array. Okay, now if the number of elements is odd, then 1x will remain. Let's suppose these both will cancel out and only 1x will be remaining. So now basically our problem boils down to if n is even, then we cannot change the array. So if the XOR is 0, then we can print yes and any value of x would suffice. Now if the XOR is not 0, then the answer is no. Now if it's odd, then whatever is the XOR, that will print. Why? Since one XOR, let's suppose we have an array A1, A2, A3, right? We XOR anything with this. Let's suppose the answer was 7 after XORing and we have 1 XOR x. So if the x is 7, then 7 XOR 7 is 0, right? So we'll basically mark our value as 7. That's why we need to print the XOR. That is all we need to do in this code. Now let's write a bit of code now. We'll input n, that is the number of elements. We'll input our array. We'll make an array XOR. We'll calculate this. Now if n is even and array XOR is 0, then we'll print a yes and we'll print an x value of anything. Let's suppose 7. If the array XOR is not 0, then we will print simply no. We need to print yes and no. Okay, we need to print plus 1 or minus 1. So we'll just print 7 here and we'll print a minus 1 here. Now if n is odd, then we just need to print the array XOR. Nothing else. I hope you got the code. Now let's move on to code the same. So I have my boilerplate code here. We'll be given an n. We'll make a vector of length n, of size n, and we'll take that vector as input. Right. Now we'll make an variable, that is array XOR, initialize it to 0. Then we'll find the XOR of the whole array. Array XOR is equal to array XOR with ARR of I. Now let's check the conditions. If n is even, then the value of x doesn't matter. So if the array XOR is 0, then only we can have an answer. Then we will see out, let's say 7. Otherwise we will print a minus 1. That means the answer is not possible. Otherwise, if the array is the length of the array is odd, then we can simply print the array XOR. That is all we need to do in this code. Now let's try for the sample edge cases. 6, 0, 7, -1 and 1. Okay, so I think this should work. Now let's try to submit it. Submit. And it got accepted. That means our answer and our approach is correct. I hope you understood the problem. Comment down what was your approach for solving the same problem. The solution link would be in the description section. Do check it out. Also, this is a playlist for all the problems in the CP sheet. Do check out all the other problems as well. Like the video, subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. Thank you.